Mm. Good morning, everyone. It's another Thursday morning here in Central Texas. Yeah. Who we got here? Bumcrack, Lag, Swag, maybe. Long time. Deb. Lag is here. Nishana. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing good. April 14th. Tomorrow would be tax day, but it's not because Friday is Good Friday. So they're giving us until Monday to get the taxes in. I have no idea if my accountant is finished with my taxes or not. I called her yesterday, but she didn't call back. Anyway, if she doesn't get it done, she will put me on an extension. So, Deb is Swag Maven. Swag Maven Deb. Debbie? Deb, right? Yeah. Deb. We used to chat a lot with Deb. She got busy or something, but there she is. And now she's here in the chat this morning. Yeah, Swag's in New York. Somewhere in New York, I think. Big city girl. Maybe New Jersey. Somewhere northeast. She's a nice lady. Diane. Good morning, good morning. I have no topic. This is a no topic Thursday. So, anybody got anything good to talk about? We have some new rules coming down from eBay, I know that. Something about if you have a multi-quantity listing, you cannot put a what do you call it? How good it is, like new or used or something. I don't know. I didn't read it all. Look in your eBay messages and you'll see what I'm talking about. Nishana? Uh, yeah. Oh, you thought I was calling you Deb? Yep, Long Island. Long Island, New York. York, York. Digital art now, graphics, watercolor art. Nice. Daily refinement. Is that 24K? Yes. Yeah, I heard about that. Or 10K on the bay. Used to be 10K on the bay. Daily refinement. It didn't happen to him. I think he happened to himself. But that's not me to judge, so I'll leave it at that. Yeah, he got banned from eBay. I guess for life. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Can he come back in a year or two and restart his eBay? it sucks for anybody to get banned from eBay, but yeah, we were talking about it a little bit yesterday. That yeah, if you're doing something questionable, I mean, eBay wouldn't just kick somebody out. They would have some form of justification somewhere. I mean, they let me keep selling. John Jones, how are you, my friend? Oh, yeah, talking about getting banned from eBay. Not me. Daily refinement. Banned for life, banned for never, banned forever. Yeah. Yeah, there's got to be more of this story. It's been the talk of reseller YouTubes lately, hasn't it? I don't know if any of y'all saw Chad Pagel's post about it. Uh, yeah. Anyway, what goes around comes around, I guess, with what Chad put up. If you haven't seen it, don't worry about it, but there's always talk going on. Yeah, but if we don't talk about the strange and odd things going on, we probably run out of things to talk about. You saw his post, but it went over my head. Well, years ago, what was it like? Gosh, maybe 5 years, 4 or 5 years ago, when Chad was still doing a regular show, 10K on the Bay, which is now Daily Refinement, called Chad a salty old dog, and it could have been said in a nice way, it could have been said in an ornery way, but then somebody bought Chad so that got everybody in Chad's group fired up about how he was a salty old dog from now on. So he took a picture of himself with that salty old dog shirt on yesterday and posted it. I think he was poking at Daily Refinement. Anyway, what else going on? I got a request from a potential buyer that they bought a watch. Can I hold it until the 28th? So I have 2-day shipping. So show the picture. Yeah. Okay, I'll look for it here in a minute. Anyway, so yes, dear. Hang on a minute. Yeah, installment plan. No, what I did was I went to the listing and changed the handling time to 15 days just for that one listing. And then I messaged the buyers in. Okay, I'm a just remind me, please, that you want it shipped on the 28th so that I don't accidentally go ahead and, you know, I got 2 days handling on all my items, but yeah. And then he sent me an offer on it. Let me check the offer. I haven't accepted the offer yet. Let's see, where is that? New offer. Hey, Bearded. It's Thursday. What are you doing on a Thursday? Wednesday is your day to be on YouTube. Here, I need a co-host. Somebody come on. Join the party. Scott comes on every once in a while, which I appreciate, because I'm boring. I'd like to get Scott's take on being banned from YouTube or banned from eBay. I never had a suspension or a ban. I've had items taken down. So there's the link if anybody wants to come in. Hey, Scott.
Hey man, there's one thing that one of the biggest things I have to say about that is I say it all the time especially when I had the show and people can almost quote me on it. I got one question for you. Before you do anything, what's your account worth? Before you do anything, you ask yourself, what is your account worth?
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, that's income for life, or
I mean, everybody knows John Johnson and
yeah.
his shenanigans before he did YouTube that he can't do Amazon at all. How many times has he got to tell people, man, I'd have made tons more money if I'd have just played by the rules?
Yeah.
You can't, the shiny nickel, the something that's something's weird when Chris tells you that he didn't make great money, he not necessarily a great idea. Then what did you do it for? What did you put everything at risk for?
Mm-hmm.
If y'all can do the math, look at his Patreon. He's got. I'm not hating on him. I'm jealous, actually. As a matter of fact, he has almost 2,300 people at Patreon at $35 each. That is $80,000 a month he's putting at risk.
Wow.
How do you train people on eBay when you're banned?
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking YouTube money. I mean, he's putting his whole everything at risk.
Yeah,
Uh,
because if you get if you get banned from eBay and Amazon finds out about that,
they're not supposed to be able to. I mean, the rules aren't the same. You didn't violate a rule on Amazon. They shouldn't be able to hold that against you. But
yeah, yeah, right. I guess.
so I saw John Jones. He made a comment on I think Walter WK's video. We don't know the whole story. There's something else that's missing. It doesn't seem right. I think if I had to guess, and what I told my group last night, the part that I think we're missing is these were prototypes and shoes that shouldn't have been in the public. And when you're putting them in the public square and selling them, I think Nike exerted some pressure saying, how did he get these? Where did they come from? These are one offs. They should have been destroyed or they should have been never out there, and you're allowing him to
Mm,
sell shoes that we don't like. And I think Nike put pressure. And they said, "Where's your invoice from Nike?" And Nike, of course, he couldn't prove that. It's the only thing that makes. I mean, we're only guessing
let's
at this
see.
point.
Yeah, let's see. Is eBay going to side with Nike or with Daily Refinement? Yeah.
The thing about eBay is you got to remember how much they're trying to get shoes back on their platform. They're dealing with all these shoe platforms that have come up. And if they were to piss a Nike off or something like that, can you imagine the negativity they would face?
Hmm.
Yeah. So
On the other hand, if you went to like a an auction, like a live auction, local live auction, they had 1,000 pair of Nike shoes sitting there brand new in boxes. You know, you couldn't prove that you bought those. You have no receipt from. So it could happen to anybody.
Yeah, but
I mean,
we're talking about $25,000 pairs of shoes. We're talking about one-offs. We're talking about prototype. We're not talking
wow.
about something that you're going to stumble in at a local auction.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
these are. So Deshauna says that's why you can't sell perfume testers. They were never meant to be sold. The rights belong to the original owners.
huh. Just take
Yeah,
the perfume bottle and scratch off tester.
man, there's some crazy stuff out there. So I did the Florida flee across Florida, um, Friday and Saturday down in Pensacola. And late in the day on Saturday, me and Chad were just about to quit, and I see some Clinique cologne on one of the tables, and I hit it with the eBay app. It's out there in the car. It's still in the car, I think. This stuff is worth $230 a bottle. Some men's Clinique cologne, and I flip it over. It's got a $3 price tag on it.
What?
$3 cologne, man.
God dang.
It just you just got to make. I've always been accused. People ask me my opinion on things about selling this or doing that, and I don't know that I give them the result that the answer they want because I'm very conservative about that stuff. I'm very black or white. I don't. It's either right or wrong, and I don't want to take too many chances because I like being a reseller. I like working for
Yeah.
myself. My business is that important to me that I don't want to lose it, and so I
You
make
don't do gray.
I tend to make decisions that are if Amazon or eBay says do this, that's pretty much what I do because you don't want to take a chance.
Sorry, Sally. I forgot to put the link in
That's
our
okay.
group.
That's okay.
And then he was complaining he was all by himself. Does that make any sense? You don't give Sally the link and you're by yourself.
I know. He doesn't come in when he's in Florida. He doesn't care about
Uh,
Sally when he's in Florida. That's for sure.
that's true. Uh,
You asshole.
I know I'm an ass.
Okay, so if most of you guys know Chad Pagel. Um, so,
Yeah.
so Chad's had a bum deal the last couple of years, with him being sick and then Kim in the surgery and all the issues she had with that. And so he hadn't done a lot of picking here, and they've just been surviving and selling what they had. So I went down to Florida. I spent 2 nights there with those guys, and I drug Chad with me. Well, I didn't. It didn't take much arm twisting to me. He was raring to go.
Mm.
That dude has still not lost his touch. There's a reason he's called the Golden Finger Picker.
Oh, I know it.
So I don't know if y'all have heard the story yet, but we were at a yard sale, and this yard sale was when I walked up. There was these two Mexican ladies, and they were carrying iPads, and they were asking the people how much, and he goes $1. I'm like, son of a, we're like 3 minutes too late. They've got in their hands everything, two iPads, they've got cameras. I'm like,
Oh
everything I like.
my God.
So Chad finds some stuff, and we make big piles. And I noticed people going in the house, and I asked the lady, I'm like, is there stuff in there? She says, yeah, the house is full. We were about to leave. I'm
Oh
like,
my
I walked in there. I'm like, Chad, come on. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the house is full. So we go in there. I'm looking at more electronics and video games and stuff. And Chad, he walks right to the watches. Everybody knows Chad's a watch guy, right? Uh,
Hmm.
he turns around, taps me on the shoulder, and says, Omega. I'm like, and what's your point? He starts saying Omega again, like he's having a stroke. I'm like, what's wrong with you? He's like, I don't know anything about a watch. He said, Omega is equal to Rolex. I'm like, all right, I'm interested now.
I wouldn't say
Okay.
Well, they're close.
step
A step down from. So the watch he found for $1 is an 18 karat gold.
Oh my
It's
God.
Omega they're sold on eBay for 8. The only one on eBay right now they want 16,000 for it or 16,900. So it's not working. So Chad pays for it, throws it in his pocket. We get to the van and he starts showing me about it. He looks at it and goes, the damn thing's working. It's an old automatic, just moving around in his pocket while we were doing the yard sale. It started working again.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So the golden finger
Super
picker,
lucky.
it was very interesting. You guys have Chad and Kim caught some hell, but they used to do videos that tell people, how they negotiate and all that kind of stuff, and people go, "Oh, y'all are crooked." There is an art to it, guys. I had never been with him picking. Dude he's an amazing negotiator.
Oh yeah, he is. But he's super lucky, but he's also super smart about like what he picks up.
So he ended up picking a whole bunch of watches, and then he had he's like, "We got a problem Saturday." I'm like, "What do you mean we got a problem? We got a van full of gas and money." He said, "No, I got a friend coming through. He's gonna give me some watch parts." He said, "I was hesitant to tell you because I know y'all don't have a great past. It was Lonnie." And I'm like, "I don't have any problems with Lonnie. I think it's always been the other way around." And so we met up with Lonnie. Lonnie gave him. He's already selling parts of this stuff. Lonnie gave him. When it's something that you don't sell, Lonnie's not a watch guy. He don't care anything about watches. It's hard to list that kind of stuff. But Chad, so he gave Chad all that stuff. It was nice to see Lonnie in person. We kind of buried the hatchet. We both had some, when you start losing friends,
That's cool.
you understand what's important and what's not important anymore. And just,
for sure.
Just stupidity is not important anymore.
Well, when you get as old as you are, Scott, you have to start getting everything taken care of.
Yeah, that's Tom. Tom's older than us.
So Joni, I know she was 25 years younger than you when y'all got married.
Yeah.
That means she wasn't even born yet. So it was really a great weekend. We picked up a lot of stuff.
That sounds awesome.
We get back to the house because Kim's still not physically able to do that kind of stuff yet. And Chad was showing her all this stuff, and Kim goes, I'd have got that for cheaper than it. I mean, the dynamic between those two was just amazing.
Of course.
John says, "You're going to paint the inside of your garage green now."
Hey, but now I can pick up watches. I feel pretty confident after spending 2 days with Chad that I can make money on watches at yard sales now.
Oh yeah, I've made a little bit on watches. I haven't gotten
some other military watch too that I'd never heard of. It was a black watch, big old thing. I think it was an English watch it was Square. I forget what it was, but I think he paid $80 for it, and it's worth like $1,400.
God.
He also found another Seiko automatic with a clear back on. I think he gave $20 for it, and it's worth almost $500.
Yeah, because I looked at one because I was talking to our jeweler about a self-winding watch, and he's like, "Oh, I've got some." He said they start off at about $700 and go up. I said, "I don't want a damn Rolex. I just want a good brand that's not going to break." And
yeah, so for the rest of the day, Chad wore that Omega on his wrist. I'm like, that's some kind of trophy from like a serial killer. Yeah,
I mean, great if he could have found the box and the paperwork that went with it.
But you never know, folks. It was on. You know how those little round things that people put watches and bracelets and stuff on? It was just sitting on one of those on the table.
Wow. Hi, Texas Val. Yeah, isn't the inside of Lonnie's shed green? Isn't that what John Jones meant back there?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Man, I can't see the walls. Those big shelves out there. I can't get to the wall.
You can't even get to your walls.
Yeah.
It's like my
24
bad K here.
Yeah.
And y'all forget that building out there because it sits on a hill. Y'all can't see the hill. So on one side of that building, it's got 10-foot walls. Yeah, right. Ain't nobody painting that. and now it's been out there 5 years. You know how many spider webs are up on the?
You talking about your garage behind the house?
Yeah.
Well, people can't see that you got your Learjet parked on the other side of it, you know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's jets back there. They just ain't mine.
They're just not ours. I bet.
We used
Yeah.
to. I grew
got-
up by the Rock Hill Airport, which is like 5,500 feet long. You know, it's and back in that day, we had a lot of big industries around here. You know, Springs and Celanese and whatnot, and their jets were always coming and going. And that was back in the day before, you know, now these jets have to have bafflers on them so they don't make so much noise. And so you could tell when the Celanese jet was taking off because it was loud. And they never seemed to go home till about 11 o'clock at night. So it'd wake up the whole daggum area, those jets coming and going.
Oh, this one here. I was trying to see how long the runway is here. It's 6,500. So.
Yeah. And Scott, you got military Ospreys taking off there too, so those have got to be loud.
Yeah, you know, they don't need a runway, but they were playing yesterday. Wednesday is Osprey test day. So you can feel the vibration of those big propellers in the building, the sound waves they put off.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Black Hawk running right here yesterday because they work on those as well. Every now and then you'll see an Apache or a Cobra. I can't tell the difference. Chad told me how to tell the difference, so next time one shows up.
It's that's like an executive airport, isn't it?
It is. Yes.
That's not y'all's main airport for Huntsville.
No.
God, no.
Huntsville International is on the other side of town.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is a lot of. If in most of the thing we see is, you know, small planes like Belt comes in here a lot. You know, smaller. You know, a lot of these companies that are all the aerospace and aerotech use it to come in and out.
Right.
But interesting that colleges use it when they're recruiting high school kids, because we've seen Auburn's plane, we've seen Alabama's a bunch, we've seen Ohio State's, we've seen quite a few university planes come through. West Virginia's come through here. Quite a few of them have come through. And next month there's some air show coming through. So a B-29 will be out there. Her name is Fifi. For the small price of $3,000, you can ride on a Mustang.
Wow.
And I think there's a T6 Texan trainer coming. There's 3 or 4 planes that come. They came last year. They're coming again this year.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. It's going to be noisy for you all day, though.
Yeah, but to see that B-29 crank up and carry on,
It's not nearly as bad as the damn Osprey shaking the windows.
yeah, the helicopters and the Ospreys are the only thing that are loud. Everything else you don't notice.
It's
What'd
like
you
I
do?
said, that little airport must have had 75, like from Cessna 150s to 310s sitting at it all the time. And then, so, you know, you'd hear the prop planes taking off, but when those jets would come in, like I said, this would have been in the 70s. They didn't have the sound buffering that they have now. They didn't have. So Lear sounded like, you know, they were sitting in the room with you.
You know, before we moved here, you know, I'd seen a lot of small planes, but never really seen them taking off. Never realized they sound like a tractor.
Who is that? I'm sorry.
The Cessnas, they sound like a tractor. They don't have mufflers on them, so they sound. It's the weird. You know, they're not a sound you expect when you're this close to them.
Yeah, my dad had a Cessna 172, and he and 3 other guys had it together. And because even owning those little prop planes like that is very, very expensive. But you know, it always sounded like the muffler had blown off of it.
Yeah, I tell everybody we're the last house we can see the airport closer than anybody else. It's because the guy who built this house and originally bought it in the neighborhood, he had a plane out there, so he could see his plane from the house. So when he passed, his heirs were telling us that they had to pay somebody to fly it to Birmingham because they were trying to sell it.
Right. Well, there's North Carolina and South Carolina both have like a couple in each state of fly-in communities.
Yeah. Wilmington has one. When we're down there, it's near Carolina Beach. Wilmington does have one.
Yeah, and it's just a little airstrip, and it sits behind their houses next to soccer fields. It's pretty cool.
The one down in South Carolina, it's the hangars cost as much as the houses do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they have built some pretty nice hangars down there. I flew in with a friend down to it to pick up his daughter, and I'm like, dang, are these the houses or are these the hangars? And because we're not talking about something like out at the airport. We're talking nice brickwork and fancy doors and all that kind of mess.
Yeah, if you want to see one of the cooler ones, start Googling John Travolta's place where he parks that 737 out by the house.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen pictures of that.
That's crazy.
But if that's your thing.
Hangar at ILM too.
Everybody collects things. You collect stuff that's what's in your garage. Look in Todd's living room. That's where his collection's at. John just happens to collect planes and keeps them in the backyard.
Yeah, I do.
Didn't you have to, Todd? Didn't the boss kick you out of the living room?
I am booted out, man. I'm in the bat cave. So all the lights are on in here, but look how dark it is still. Those are the outside French doors, so there's a little light coming through there, but
Hey, it's a lot lighter.
there's my hole in the ceiling where I put my I broke the board when I was putting my internet cable down. Anyway, yeah, I'm booted out of the living room for life.
See, that's what happened when you let her retire.
Yeah.
Your lighting looks better.
I need to do some rearranging in here. It's starting to look like Scott's garage.
You have to turn sideways to walk in there. If so, you're getting close.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
It used to be so organized, Scott. What happened?
Yeah. Can you see the floor? Oh my God. I got so much junk. I need a list. I just keep buying stuff and I need a list. I need to quit buying.
Why, Todd? You make so much money. You got all those. You've got boxes of daggum watches over there.
Yeah.
You get off the road and get that stuff listed.
Yeah, that is a professional Cat 5 job right there, Lag.
Yeah, anytime you want to quit reselling, you can go right into installing Cat 5.
I'm
Scott,
old school, man.
Do you know what happened to all that stuff that Dusty had? Did they sell it off, or?
They still have the house. So I'm assuming it's all still in there.
Right. One of the kids living in it?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, okay.
Gabe is. So I think it was all this year. Dusty had gotten where he was paying half his rent up front at the beginning of each year.
Yeah.
So he had, at least through the end of this year, he'd already paid half the rent each for the whole year. So he was trying to make it where, I've got money now. I want to make my bills less through the rest of the year. So I think that makes it only like $400 a month. for the rest of the year. So,
Well, that's good.
No.
and his buddy, the one that he bought estate, the one who bought estates, his name is Duck. I see Duck every weekend. Duck's been trying to get in touch with either one of them. Can't seem to get in touch with them just to find out if they need some help because he's the one who originally sold it all to them to begin with.
Right.
Well, when you got,
Does he have Windsor Gabe's phone number?
Uh.
I'll send you Windsor's phone number and you can give it to him.
all right, because I didn't have either one of their numbers. All right, that's cool. Yeah,
But Gabe's still in the house.
yeah, Duck's a nice guy. So he's related to another lady that Dusty bought a lot of stuff from. So Mina, I see Mina a lot too.
Good. Are y'all on the road? Or are you at home?
I'm at home. Johnny's actually awake, sitting over there, and
I didn't know it had kind of like an echo in the hotel, like from a hotel. I didn't know whether y'all were on the road or.
no, they don't. But they should put Alabama pictures in every hotel.
Oh God, that's not good.
No, our dogs decided they wanted to get up and eat at 6 o'clock this morning,
Wow.
and now we're awake and they're all asleep.
Well, all but one.
Roberta's mother's having a cardiac procedure today. They might end up having to put stents in, but so she's up there with her. And last night her gout, Roberta's gout started kicking in, and all her medicine's down here. So I might have to drive to Asheville in a little while and take it to her.
Uh-oh.
Because she never had gout until she had this. She had the liver transplant, and all the meds just. I'm sure Joni knows this too. Just screws up your whole system, and things you never had before you start having. And
Yep.
Yeah. So chemotherapy gave her chronic kidney disease. Is giving her cataract.
What is the dachshund?
I'm having cataract
Is he drinking beer?
surgery middle of next month.
Drinking beer on TV.
I've got the Smithsonian Channel playing in the background. They're doing color from the 20s. Or something. So when are you having the surgery? Are you having it soon?
Yeah, sometime in May.
Mm.
They got to do both of them.
Yeah, I think what they tell you, 3 years, Johnny, probably.
For what?
Cataracts.
Oh, yeah. They haven't progressed.
Oh, good.
That's good.
I went in to have my eyes checked, and my doctor said, I'm going to have to send you to a specialist. I can't do anything for it. And I said, why is that? She said, because you got cataracts in both your eyes. And I said, I didn't have cataracts the last time I was in here. And
Same thing with me.
she said, well, it just happens when you get to be your age.
That sucks.
She looks like she's about 14. She does. I said, first time she's new to the practice, and I said, she came in there and she said, hi, how are you today, Tom? And I said, I'm fine, and you? And she said, I'm doing good. I said, so is your dad or mom coming in here in a minute? She said, no, thank you. I'm the doctor. But she does. She looks like she's about 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, we had one of those in Wilmington. We called him Doogie Howser. I don't even know his real name. I just knew him as Doogie.
Jeremy Holtzworth.
I just knew him as Doogie.
Doogie.
Yeah. Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
That guy still looks like a baby face.
Yeah. He has a baby face, that's for sure.
And when I remember one of the things about that TV show was they did such a good job of him putting together the fact that he is still a young, he was a kid, and that he was a doctor, because he would do stuff in the show like he would walk. He's talking to another doctor, and they're walking down a sidewalk or something, but he'd walk down the curb, so he's stepping up on the curb, and his other foot's going down on the stuff like little kids would, or kids were doing.
Yeah.
So, does anybody get to the end of the channels on your TV? Have you watched any of the '80s TV and realize how bad it was? I was
Oh, it's
flipping through
awful.
channels last night, and
Yeah.
they were showing Hunter. I'm like, oh, cool. I used to love Hunter, and they couldn't even expand it. It was in the square.
Yeah.
I mean, and it looked like it was filmed in like the 30s. I'm like,
God.
And if you look at any of the 70s shows, Carol Burnett or any of those where they were just getting into filming and video with video, not regular film, and the lighting, the coloring is real off. It's like it's too much light, and but now you kids have this newfangled stuff that they have now,
Yeah.
color optimization, and
They didn't have high definition then. It was high bias or something.
yeah, I mean, Lag says he found married with children. It's funny. You must be a kid. So, Todd, did you buy anything while you were down in Florida?
Oh,
For sale, not for.
no.
No, he was spending too much money already.
Yeah. Got that place. Don't go to Universal Studios unless you got a pocket full of money, boy. It's pretty expensive. I bought some candy.
Well, you went with the Harry Potter.
Honeydukes. Honeydukes was the candy shop on Harry Potter, so they had a Honeydukes there. A quarter pound, it was like $4, and this is like 3 pounds. So, what's 4 times 3 times? I don't know. Anyway, a whole lot of money for a bag of candy. Anyway,
That's reason you never go with somebody that's a big fan of like Hogwarts or the Mouse or any of that kind of stuff.
it's kind of like going to Switzerland. You got to buy a Swiss watch while you're there, even if you have to pay 3 times the price.
yeah, Nishana, I understand. I think for my like 10th or 11th birthday, I got a TV for Christmas. It was a 12-inch black and white. I get it.
Listen,
And I bought. This is so sad. I was lucky to have it at the yard sales and down there with Chad. I bought a 13-inch LED Emerson for $1. I'm like, what the hell?
Nice.
we when I was a little kid, we lived in Goose Creek, South Carolina, which is in the suburb of Charleston, and we had 2 channels from Charleston, and then if we turned the antenna outside on the house in a certain direction, we could pick up Columbia. So my dad would say, let's see what's on the Columbia channel. So my older brother would go out and pick up the TV antenna, and I would take a cinder block and turn it up on its long ways to raise it up that 8 inches to get it above the treetops so we could pick it up down and pick up Columbia. And there was no clickers.
Are you talking about CBS? Or are you talking about Columbia, the country?
No, I'm talking about South Carolina.
Columbia, South Carolina, the capital of South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's our capital.
But don't worry, you know I'm from that neck of the woods. I got you.
I tell you what.
I don't know anything east.
It's God's country out here.
Yeah, there was a remote control, and I have to remind everybody that me and my brother were my dad's remote control.
Yeah.
Get up and change the channel.
That's right. But we only had 3 channels. We had ETV out of Charleston too. So it was like 3, 5, and Columbia was like 8. But and click.
And you have PBS. You could always pick up something crazy on PBS.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. Todd, I mean Scott, we were the clicker because when you change the channel, it would go click, 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 click. You
Well, I
know.
was usually sitting this far from TV anyways, so I, I
Yeah.
was right there.
Oh, we changed the channel so many times. You didn't even have to look at the knob. You just went zip, 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 and it went click,
Yeah.
click, click, click. You know,
Yep.
let's watch channel 12. Click, click. It's like,
And people wonder, how are you a Cubs fan? You're from the South. I'm like, when cable came in, I was just going to high school. I watched Harry Carey every afternoon when I got home. And WGN was there. It was one of the first cable we got.
I don't even think I seen cable TV until, well, I would go to my aunt's and I would watch it sometimes, but we didn't have it at my house until after I was out of the house. So I was probably 2021 by the time my parents got it.
It might be your whole state because I don't think my grandparents' house ever got it.
Well, I was in California at the time.
And didn't even think about
My,
the sweats. So
we didn't have, when I was a kid, we didn't have cable in our area, but I babysitted this boy, and his father had the funeral home, and it was, of course, it was in Rock Hill in town, and they had cable there, so we would go when they'd say, "Tom, can you babysit for a Saturday night?" Because he was a big part of the Moose Lodge. I said, "Sure." He said, "I'll have Mrs. Green, which was his wife, stock up the kitchen at the apartment because over there, the funeral home was in the bit front, and in the back was a 4-car garage, the hearse and all that kind of stuff parked in, and then above it was a big apartment, and they had cable up there, so we'd go up there at night. So when I babysitted, we'd go spend the night up there and watch movies all night.
yeah. I remember when WGN came out that so many people became Cubs fans. I mean, you didn't get to see many televised games of the teams, but the Cubs, every home game the Cubs had was on WGN.
Yeah, so we had TBS, but it's when you get off the bus and get home in the afternoon and it's on, it's different than watching it because once 7 or 8 o'clock at night came, you didn't have control of the TV anymore because that was your dad would come in and say tell you what you're. So that was the time that we had where we could watch what we wanted. So I'd watch the baseball game.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a Philadelphia Flyers fan, not a Hurricane fan. That's hockey for those that don't know. And I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, not a Panthers fan, because started pulling for them way before the Hurricanes or the Panthers ever came out. So the Hurricane is North Carolina's hockey team because hockey was not in the South. You had to get onto a cable channel to see hockey play. But
See, this is how different it is. I'd come home and watch baseball. Joni said she would come home and watch the Wheel of Fortune so that she'd watch it again when her dad got home and it looked like she was a genius because she could guess all the puzzles. Until one day he got sick. Until one day he got sick and figured it out.
We're on 2 different stations at 2 different times. One at 3:30 and one at like 6.
Jim and Tara.
we
Get it.
I can't remember what the channel was called, but there's a channel that plays nothing but westerns and Bonanza, Gunsmoke, and all that kind of stuff. Because when my dad was still alive, and I'd go down there and sit with them at night, that's what we watched. We watched Bonanza and we watched Gunsmoke.
Yeah. I can't remember where they play that at. I haven't had cable TV in a while. I turned that shit off a long time ago. They're charging too much.
Speaking of watches, hold on. An old Seiko.
Yeah. Yes, Sally. Since Roberta works for the cable company, we get everything.
Well, that's
Eh,
lovely. Even
Wait a minute. Wait a
Playboy.
minute. Let me finish. We have 1,000 channels. 1,000 channels. And what do I watch? Netflix and
Playgirl.
YouTube. I don't even watch the cable. I said, I hope they don't ever monitor, like what the usage is from you, because I said they're going to probably fire you because we don't watch. Unless something big's going on, in the world and it's on TV, then we watch it there. But we just don't watch cable because it's all crap.
Yeah, you get all these channels and you only watch maybe 3 of them. I just can't do it. I find something that I like, like on Netflix or something, and I'll usually watch that and I'll binge watch it. And then, like, I'll wait for the next season to come out or whatever. And if I don't find anything else that that's worth watching, I'll turn that off, go over to Hulu, or, do that with Peacock. You know, like I try to I have all of them on right now, but I need to turn some of them off. I usually do, but
What one of my sons pays for Disney Plus, and my other son or one of my other sons pays for what is HBO Max.
yeah.
I don't know why people pay for this stuff because they don't have enough new stuff on there often enough to justify,
Yeah.
you get the service, and after about a month, you've watched everything they have on there,
Yeah.
and then
Well, no, they change stuff. They usually add and take away from stuff that is that's weird. I I was looking at this looking at this address and it's for Vero Beach, Florida. Get a load of that, Deshauna. I was just talking about Vero's with Deshauna. That is so crazy. Vero Beach. I've never even heard of that.
Todrick, I got a gold question for you.
I've got a gold answer.
Okay, I've been following some auctions on high bid, and there's a couple locals that have lots of gold coins and stuff like that, and they go for crazy money. But when you look at what like the value of the gold is in the coins, or you look if you can find where they've actually been sold like through retail or being sold through retail, they're nowhere near. They're a lot lower, let's put it that way, than what these auctions are going for. Am I missing something?
No, people are stupid at those online and live auctions when it comes to coins. Yeah, our local auction, uh, they have like silver dollars that go for like 50, 60 bucks a piece, and you can go all day long on AppMax, the online bullion dealer, and buy them for $40 a piece all day long. I don't get it. People go nuts over coins at auctions, at least around here.
Yeah. He had to run for the phone, I think.
Right.
But you can pick up. I mean, I bought a lot of jewelry that had gold in it for $140 at that same auction, and it was about. By the time I sold all the silver and gold that was in it, it was like $2,000, and I paid $140 for it.
Wow.
But if it's a coin, it's just I don't even try to bid. Their starting price on coins at auctions are just almost exactly the same price as you can buy them online all day long, as many as you want from an online bullion dealer. Yeah, they're just stupid.
I just had another so.
Sorry, Todd. I didn't mean to jump off it, but that was Roberta, and I didn't know whether something had gone wrong with that procedure.
Yeah, I was just totally agreeing. All the local auctions around here, the auction price for coins is just stupid crazy, especially silver dollars.
There was some gold coins that you could have bought an ounce of gold cheaper.
Yeah.
And I went to see, maybe it was a collectible coin or something like that. And all of them are all selling cheaper way cheaper than what these bid prices go.
Yeah. You can go to JM Bullion online. You can go to AppMax online. You can go to Provident Metals online, and all their prices are cheaper than those live auctions. People just go nuts over those things at auctions.
Roberta and she was at her desk and I was over here, and we were looking at high bid at some of these auctions, and while she was, and I was going out and finding prices and whatnot, and because she thought, you might could find a deal or something like that. There was no deals to be had. I mean, it was just amazing what people were paying for some of this stuff. And I know it has to be the auction thing, because I remember years ago going to, like, the sheriff's department would have auctions, and they would have stuff like TVs and crap like that, gas cans for like a Mercury outboard or Johnson outboard, where they had, gotten them through confiscation, or people just hadn't come back to claim it. And people were paying new prices for TVs. And they said, we haven't plugged them in. We don't know whether they work or not. You buy it as it is. That's the way the county was selling it. And there was a guy standing beside me, and his wife, his wife was bidding on a TV. And I turned into him. I said, you need to tell her to shut up. And he said, why is that? I said, because you can go buy that same TV new out of the box with a clicker and, a little bit of a warranty for about the same price as she's bidding on it now. And he turned to her and said, you need to hush. And somebody bid, a couple of people bid it up even higher than that. So I figured it was the same thing. People just, I got to win. That kind of mentality.
I gotta go.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
But anyway, I was just wondering if because I know you're the wizard of gold and silver, and I just didn't know whether I was missing something or not.
No, it's just, I don't know. It's sometimes crazy. Sometimes I see at our local auction, I see Barbie dolls going for crazy money. I'm like, really? Barbie dolls?
Well, I realized, like, there was a gold ring, and it was a pretty ring, and it went for outrageous money. And I'm sure somebody just said, I like that ring. I want that ring. And they would pay what it took to get the ring. But, I just regular old coins, I just couldn't understand the concept of it. So I figured I'd ask you once you got back from vacation.
Yeah, no, I didn't ever get a chance to go garage selling or going to coin shops or anything while we were out.
I'm surprised Bridget and Maggie didn't give you a list and tell you to go over to
Disney.
The Disney discount store they have. I don't know what it's called. And say, we want you to pick up this, that, and the other ones.
Yeah.
Lag says the hogwash wizard of gold and silver. It's So I know. I mean, I know that people are. There's been a lot of gold and silver talk in the media lately, and maybe that's what it's. Maybe that's what's got everybody motivated. They think it's going to go up to $4,000 an ounce or something.
Man,
Yeah.
so we do that local auction here every week, and it's amazing. It's amazing what people pay for stuff. You know, I'll go up there and look at stuff, and when I take stuff, I'll look at the next week and go, "I'm gonna bid on this lot and this lot." I rarely win, which is if you're a seller, that's great, but if you're a buyer, so not so much.
Well, you hear like Tara said she's in here or was in here, and Nikki talking about these $1 and $2 boxes they're always buying up north. I haven't ever seen $1 or $2 box
Yeah,
at
but
any auctions around here. Those $1 and $2 boxes or $10 boxes or $20 boxes.
it's a huge difference in online and in person auctions, though.
Well, this was at online auctions.
Yeah,
I
the
mean, not
in person,
online auctions. They were in-house auctions,
right?
and it's
Something just crashed, whatever it is.
what is that, Todd?
That's the silver price.
Uh,
It went up a bunch yesterday, but now it's crashing back down a little bit.
Yeah, John, I used to buy a lot of stuff through govdeals.com here in Charlotte. And yeah, that's what I was talking about live on site, not online, Tara. But I used to buy a bunch of stuff from govdeals.com, and they don't have anything around here anymore. All they're doing is selling off cars. But I guess it's a northern southern thing. Hey, Bumcrack. Because down here, auctions are real popular during the winter, not so much up in Duluth.
But it's everything. So last Friday, me and Tracy went to, or Friday before last, we went. There was an estate sale that started at 2:30. They put in their thing. We'll be passing out numbers at 1:30. My buddy Tracy gets there at 1 o'clock. I'm like, dude, grab me a number. He grabs 2 and 3. And so I show up like 10 minutes later, and so we hang out. We run to Goodwill. We carry on and come back, and we go to the front of the line because we're 2 and 3. They're at number like 150 by the time this thing opens. When's the last time you saw 150 people in line at an estate sale on a Friday afternoon?
Yeah. I don't know. People are just looking for stuff. I was talking to a storage auction manager, and he hates, most of the storage unit places are going to online auctions now. They're not doing them live. And he really does not like those because he says they don't get the kind of buyers online as they do live at these auctions, because he says, they get the bid starts going up and people get carried away, and it drives, the prices go out of the world. Well, now people look at stuff and they're following it, and they'll forget about it and all of that kind of mess. So the prices just never go up. Is that your little girl, Todd?
That's the princess. Yep. That's Jenny Weasley, the red Boston Terrier.
Strange looking cat. Yeah, Todd's one of them dog people, John. And so is Scott.
Yeah. PB was over there asleep. I don't know where she went.
Because Roberta was gone last night. Roxy, our female, she thought she had to sleep up against me all night long.
Thanks, Lag. I got the face of a Boston Terrier.
Hey,
You get the
Lag, if you quit talking bad about, if you start talking bad about people, your mama's gonna put you in timeout. She's not gonna cook you breakfast this morning.
there you go.
You're not my mama.
Uh-oh.
Scott, does your family still live up here in North Carolina?
Yeah, she still lives in Wilmington. Although y'all are both crazy old bats.
Mhm.
I know you're not talking to me.
My future daughter-in-law is going to be working at the Wilmington Hospital for about 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's where her mother retired from.
She's a traveling nurse, and she's going to be over there for 6 weeks. She was at Baltimore. She just finished a thing up in Baltimore, and I've got friends that are from Baltimore, and I said, Angela, you do not want to go to Baltimore. Well, I've never been up there before, so I thought it'd be good. About 2 weeks, 2 weeks into her stay up there, they had a shooting across the street from the hotel or the apartments they were staying in. 3 people died, and then she just got into the scared mode. So she said she thought she'd stay south of the Mason-Dixon line for a while,
You think?
but she's gonna be over there.
Yeah, the only bad thing about Wilmington is the traffic. Is because Wilmington's at the point of the state that you can't build roads because there's water on on that whole
Right.
end. So
Is that where you grew up, or is that just where she retired to?
no, mother's from there. I grew up in Kinston.
Okay.
Me and you're probably the only two who know where that is in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that close to Oklahoma?
The biggest thing was if you were driving west to go to the beach, you have to drive through Kinston to get to the beaches, and most of them in eastern North Carolina.
When you read in the paper in the Charlotte Observer about Dallas, they're not talking about Dallas, Texas. They're talking about Dallas, North Carolina, which is it's up in the northwest, at the northwest side of the city limits of Charlotte. They specifically have to say like Dallas, Texas, or Concord. Well, it's Concord here, but Massachusetts, and
Now the only thing Kinston is known for now is one of the murder capitals of North Carolina. The drug problems are so bad.
it's strange. And Columbia is a big one too. Roberta said, "Hey, they had a shooting in Columbia and 12 people died." And I said, "Columbia, South Carolina?" She says, "I think so." And it came back, it was Columbia, the South American country.
This is how bad it is. I just Googled the worst 10 for crime, dangerous cities in North Carolina. Whiteville is number 1. Henderson is number 2. Kinston is number 3.
The crimes in, did you say in North Carolina?
Yeah, North Carolina. Kinston is the number 3 worst city according to the FBI for crimes, and it's awful. I mean, the drugs on one side of town, that little place is. There's been some famous basketball players come out of there, but
There was a major drug bust down in South Carolina. The DEA confiscated about 100 acres of marijuana plants because what they were doing is they were planting a row of corn, the marijuana plants, row of corn, row of marijuana plants.
A&M has a good grow.
but they're growing hemp, not marijuana.
Who is that?
One of the local universities here. Hemp is real big in Alabama. So there's out in the county near us. There's a big hemp process. They grow it, process, and all that. and there's all kinds of signs and stuff. If you hang around too long, security will come check you out pretty quick.
Well, when I was younger and I worked on my dad's survey crews, we would be cutting property lines through the woods out in the middle of nowhere, and we would run on to into pot farms out there, and we just kept on cutting and walking, and didn't hang around too long because you didn't know who was sitting in the deer stand watching what you were doing. And the DEA that was in our area, there was several times that we would finish up a tract of land. About the time we get finished up, they'd come walking up and saying, "Hey, we just thought we'd walk around this property." So they were knowing that there was some shenanigans going on there.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to whatever you cropped, if that's what you say when you talk about pot. You had some of these places you had to tote it out quite a ways.
Yeah, nobody grows that stuff in Texas because it's still illegal here.
Yeah, well, it's illegal here in North Carolina and South Carolina too.
Alabama too.
But you still, they still grow it.
I don't think there's a recreational state in the South, so.
No, we have.
Florida's got medical. Florida's got medical. I know that, but
my brother and I have 150 acres together. Right now, they're grazing horses on it. I told him, I said, if they ever legalize the growing of marijuana in South Carolina, I said, we're good. You better find someplace else to put the damn horses.
Tom the Pot Man.
Because I said we're going to get into a lucrative business. We're going to give up everything else.
Oh my gosh.
But,
guys, I got to get out of here and go do battle with the Lutherans at the rummage sale.
Oh, you're going to go sweet talking. When are you going to do that that video for your channel on how to sweet talk old ladies at the Lutheran sales?
I should do. Those ladies are crazy at that. You got some really nice ones and some real space cadets.
Well, if you take them some donuts when you went down there or something,
you got to change your channel to the Silver Tongue Devil.
They're actually sweet. Yes, honey. We'd love you to buy that item, but that price that's marked on there, we can't sell it for that. It's worth more. What?
Poor Todd. He's been screwed out of so much money.
So, Dwayne, Decatur, Alabama is not bad. That's actually one of the bigger growth areas around here. That's 30 minutes from here.
Actually, everything that was left over from my garage sale Saturday before last, I took over there to donate, and so I can't wait to see my stuff in their sale this week.
See what kind of money you missed off on?
Yeah.
Is that Decatur, Alabama?
Yeah, Decatur, Alabama.
Okay, because there's a Georgia one too.
That's right. I got elbow him out of the way.
That's right. Them old ladies that work Todd like he's a horse over there. Make him work for it. All right, Todd. Y'all have a good day. Scott.
Yeah, we'll see y'all. Thanks for coming on, Tom and Scott and Sally left. And thank everybody in the side chat. Tomorrow's show, Friday, will be on Sally's channel, the Upside Down Picker, at 8 a.m. Central, or 8:05. Sally always starts a couple of minutes late.
Yeah. All right. Y'all have a great day.
All right. See you
Bye.
guys.